Good morning, YouTube subscribers. Just bothering you a little bit, just trying to give you an idea of what my life is like and how hard and difficult the elites and the wealthy people in this world make it for me to do my job for God. I am on assignment to provide information to God's people, which has been lacking in the public. We've been discriminated against in TVs, movies, magazines. Apparently, Christians are pretty much extinct. So, I just, wanted to bring that to your attention and let you know how valuable our jobs are and how hard they make it for us. So, I just want to kind of take you along on my, work day little bit and just show you, what I'm going through. So now, right now, I'm getting ready to bounce over to YouTube and try to find a video to play because I just posted something, and I try to coordinate my video sometimes with what I've said, kind of link it. So I'm going to go over here and look for a video, and let me show you basically what I have to go through to get this information out. Okay, you can see how slow it is just trying to get to YouTube. Okay. This is how long I have to wait just to get to YouTube. And now it's, oh wow, it finally got here. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to look up something, and watch when I try to type it in, it'll just take forever to do this. I'm trying to type with one hand here. I'm thinking about coming up with a show for this. You be the judge, and let the people come on and be the judge. Okay, here's you be the judge. Let's see what I got here. Look at this. How long it takes just to pull up a video. Okay. Let's see what it pulls up here. Oh, here's one real cool. You be the judge, who was better. It looks like some bands are battling it out. I always like this college stuff. Let me see what this one's about. Yeah, it looks like some African American people, which you never hardly see. I try to promote stuff that's not seen, that's neglected, discriminated against, that isn't, being reported on. A lot of the media horrors just kind of void stories, and they don't put them in the news. So you have to have people like us who get on here and do it for themselves. So now I'm trying to go over to my Facebook page to put this on, to link it. Okay, this is taking me like almost 5 minutes just to do for one video. Now I have so many pages, I have to remember even what page I was on. Okay, I was on the pedophile page is one I created because it's needed, and people aren't really focusing on pedophiles, on child molesters, rapists, They're not concerned with them. I feel that they have a special protection in America. They get free Viagra, they get free hotels, they get cars, they get room and board, medical. When they get out of jail, they get more benefits than any person. And it kind of, to me, strikes me as weird, because why would a child molester get so much help but other people can't? And so they're basically supporting them and letting them have a higher stake in the finances and the economic quality of life. Even though they've committed crimes against children, they still get to come out of jail and bounce back on their feet. They make it literally like, they get everything for free. They get out of jail, they get room and board, they get a hotel somewhere paid for, they get cars, they get food, free medical, free everything, job, placement. So they never struggle. When they actually come out after being a pedophile or child molester better in life, because the system, rehabilitates them at such a level where it puts them at higher stakes than minorities or the victim even, and they get to bounce back on their feet. So, oh, sorry, I just used to talking loud because this thing never records loud enough, and then you can't hardly hear it. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of let you know what's going on, and how they're just really blocking me from everything I do and making everything difficult, and it's a struggle, and it's so frustrating because it feels like it's moving in slow motion for me. I know that they deliberately make sure that I don't have the resources and the finances to purchase the good equipment to, so that I can have the big screens and the multiple monitors. I don't, even have a printer. And so I'm just basic operating like on a ghetto level. And they've tied my hands so that I'm working with like 1970s equipment in the 21st century. So this is how they set us back. And then we've got all these big moguls and these big corporations that have all this technology and all this PR propaganda stuff they're shooting out left and right. It's impossible to keep up with this. I mean, how can one person even try? But, I still do my part. I do the best I can. It's not much. And a lot of times when I'm even trying to type stuff, it jumps things around and it moves things around and it makes it look like, I don't know what I'm talking about. Or they even mislead and like leave letters out on purpose to make it look like I'm saying something else. And, they have some kind of high-tech surveillance censorship programs that go in there and they delete stuff, they block stuff, people can't see it. I don't even know if anyone even can read my posts or my pages, and I realize people don't want to like them because they're afraid. Anytime you deal with the government or big corporations or millionaires and a lot of money, people get afraid to speak up and go up against them. So I'm noticing that I think there's people viewing my pages, but they're just not liking it, and because out of fear. And so, I understand and everything. I was afraid too when I first started working for the government, and then, of course I was raised around them, and they're like family to me, so I'm not as afraid as you. But, I still have fears myself because I know what kind of wicked psychological killers they are, and how psychotic they are, and how they have access and the money to do anything, and they get away with it. They have a license to kill, to terrorize, to murder. So, I get that. So, if you don't like my pages, it's okay. God, it's between you, me, and God. God knows if you're on there and if you're using the information, if it's benefiting people, if it's making a difference. I don't need all of the, millions of people, showing me that they're behind me, because actually that just draws more attention to me, and then they're just going to come after me worse, because now they're thinking maybe nobody's looking at me or whatever, so they think I'm not a threat. But if they see too many people, listening and talking, then that's when they're really going to try to kill me. So, I mean, they've already tried, but they're going to really stiff it up a little. And so, I'm just trying to do the best I can with the limited time that I have left here, because, no one knows how long they're going to be in this world. And so you just, do with the tools God gives you. And, I know even Jesus didn't have, a lot when he was, preaching and stuff. And he didn't have a home. He didn't have property. He didn't have, a place to lay his head. He could call his own. They kept him stripped down, too, and stalked. And, he didn't have the luxuries of, to get a blowhorn to, do his sermons. He couldn't talk on the mic. He didn't have, the coliseums, that the rich people had to perform in, and you could echo, people could hear you better. And so, he would go on a mountaintop and preach. And, people, how it echoes from there. And so he utilized whatever he could, tools that God gave him, and that, obviously it's good enough, because if it was needed, God would have gave it to us. And God just wants to illustrate that you can do so much with so little. And these people have millions and billions of dollars, and they're never going to win the battle. And that's what's such a joke. And and that's why I love God so much, because he has such a good sense of humor, and he keeps it interesting, just like a movie. You always got to have a villain. You always got to have, some twists, some turns, some, good plots, because if it's too simple and it's too easy, if we come in there and it looks like, oh, we battled them, head to head, we had all the technology, we had everything, we, took them on. No, we didn't. I want, this story is way better for us saying, we didn't have the tools, we didn't have anything. We fought against these monsters, these demons, and, with the Bible, with the Word of God, and all we needed was the shield and the armor of the Lord. And we still won the battle. And that, here I go talking loud again. I get a little excited when I talk about my Jesus. But, here we are. We won the battle. We didn't even have the resources. We didn't even have the the stuff that the normal man do, the manly men, that run this world, the sick, psychotic, fake people. They think it takes a whole lot, but really it doesn't. I think there's a saying in the Bible that like 2 can take out 1,000 or something, and 10, 10,000 or something like that. And, it's really true. It's really true. So, get on there, get your blogs going, get your recorders started, record things. I just read today about a young man who wasn't happy with his school lunches, and started a blog and took pictures, and now things are going to change in the school, because people, when you start bringing light to stuff, to darkness and to sickness and evil and wicked stuff that people are doing, they get ashamed. They don't want the light drawn to it. They like to be in the darkness. And that's why God put us here on this earth, is so that we could be the light in a tunnel, because pretty soon it's going to be pure darkness here. I mean, when the Christians are gone, it's going to be, very dark. You're not going to find a lot of Jesus. And there will be people still that will change their mind once they see the saints leave in the rapture, and then they're going to get scared into Jesus, and then they're going to be here, and they're going to have to die and then go to heaven. And they could have learned the hard way, but they didn't. It took them a while. They had to see, because they're the kind of people that are the taste, feel, touchers. They have to see, evidence that they can touch and feel. And if they can't, then they're like, well, Jesus isn't real. So they're the ones that are going to have to wait until they start beheading people and making them put the chips in their hands and their heads. And then they're the ones who are going to change their mind and be like, oh, wow, this is serious. This is real. Pastor such and such wasn't just bluffing. Jesus is real. I just saw him come and get, these people. I saw him in the clouds. And, you know, they're going to be like, oh, wow, you know, it's time to get real now. And then they're going to have to be beheaded. And so they're going to, you know, go through a torturous end, but they will still make it to heaven. But they're going to be the ones left here after the rapture. And I feel sorry for them. And I just pray that, you know, they're, you know, because we're always going to need shifts here. You know, there's the first shift, the second shift. We got to get them all. It's a wrap up. You know, sometimes we got stragglers. Okay, well, I just wanted to say what's up and see what's going on. I'll catch up with you later. I got so much drama to tell you about this Walden stuff, about my case being dropped. I mean, you're just not even going to believe what these people did to me and how they terrorized me and modern day lynch me. And how I'm trying to, you know, become a director, and how most of these directors are gay and they're in secret societies and they got it on lockdown. Christians can't make movies. They can't be in magazines. They can't write books anymore. I took some books to the Half Price Books yesterday, a bunch of Christian books from my seminary school. Because of this lawsuit and everything has put me in such a financial burden. I'm so strapped. I thought, you know, I could sell some books. I took like 2 bags of books. They gave me $9, like a penny for each book, and they didn't even take them all. And I was thinking to myself, this is like highway robbery. I mean, I spend hundreds of dollars on these books to go to school, and they're worthless. And then you go and you try to sell them, and they're worth nothing. And then the half price books takes my money, takes my books, and sells them, jacks them up sky high, and then gives me like a penny for them. I mean, I'm never going back to that place again. I thought they were cool because they, you know, were discounted, but they know they rob you. I mean, you might as well just say it's a donation when you take your books there, because they're not going to give you anything. I mean, these places are crooks, and they value, you know, religious books as trash to them. They give you nothing for them, okay? And they probably go somewhere in the back and burn them. You know, that's all they're trying to do, is collect all the God books, the religion books, so they can burn them in the end when all this stuff goes down. They just, you know, that's why they put us in debt and so much misery, and so that we have to sell the books and get rid of them. Before, they would take them from you and burn them, and now they force you to sell them, and they have so many different systems now in place, you know, that people just aren't even aware of. They're just clueless. Anyways, I'm going on and on. I'll talk to you later.